The biggest delegation for the country in over 3 decades. The Philippine Olympic Committee has expressed optimism that this year's team will surpass the country's medal count from the pandemic-delayed Tokyo Olympics. The Philippines won 4 medals during the 2020 Olympic Games, highlighted by its first ever gold from weightlifter Heidelin Diaz. Team Philippines kicks off its Paris 2024 campaign on Saturday with 3 athletes set to see action. These include Joanny Delgaco, who will start things off in the women's rowing single sculls heats at around 4 p.m. Philippine time. Delgaco is also the first Filipino rower to ever qualify for the Olympics. Meanwhile, gymnast and top medal bet Carlos Yulo will compete in the men's qualification round of artistic gymnastics at 9:30 in the evening. Despite already winning multiple world championships, Yulo is still seeking his first Olympic medal. And another top medal contender, boxer Yumir Marshall, will also hit the ring for the men's 80-kilogram round of 32, which begins at around 11:30 p.m. Marshall is one of 4 Filipino athletes that won a medal in Tokyo, taking home the bronze in the men's middleweight division. Again, it's only a day to go before Paris Olympics kicks off. Now let's check in on the training of our boxers. We have with us one of our Olympic correspondents, Carlo Pamintuan, who is joining us all the way from Paris, France. Carlo, what's the latest on all our Filipino Olympians?
Good morning here from France, Pawi. Our Olympians are busy at work. They have been training since landing here in France from their training camp in Saarbrücken, Germany. They're in high spirits, they're in good vibes, and they're eager to get things going. As you said, Yumir Marshall might be the first to compete among our Filipino boxers, but since there are only 18 entries for the light heavyweight division, there's also a chance that he will actually get a bye for the round of 32, delaying his start a little bit longer. You know, it's an amazing story so far for the boxers. We have 5 who qualified here for Paris, same number as the 1996 Atlanta Olympics where Mansueto Onyok Velasco actually won a silver medal. And there are a lot of similarities between the teams from 1996 and 2024. But let me start with Yumir Marshall. We all know that he was the first to actually qualify for the Olympics because of his silver medal finish in the Asian Games in Hangzhou. He had a shorter time in training camp because he had to fly from the US to Metz. He joined the team there for only a day before heading to Saarbrücken, Germany. The theme for Yumir is really redemption. You know, he knows it was a missed opportunity to win something better than a bronze medal in the middleweight division. He thought that he would be done with this level of boxing because, you know, his division, the middleweight, was scrapped completely. He had to move up to the light heavyweight division, something that is not really familiar to him, but he has shown us that he has the power to bang with the bigger boys, and he actually sparred with a 2-time Olympic medalist, a boxer from Cuba, and that gave him even more experience, even more confidence that he also belongs here in the light heavyweight division. Moving down the line, we also have Carlo Paalam, a silver medalist back in the 2020 Tokyo Games. He is also moving up in weight to the featherweight division, and he will be met by even taller competition when he goes there. But you know how talented Carlo Paalam is and has been, and he actually got better. You know, for Yumir, it was a little bit of a struggle to head up in weight, but for Carlo Paalam, it felt a little more natural because he was, you know, a growing fighter. He was able to pack in really good weight, really good pounds to help him out move to the next division. The power is still there, but he will always bank on his speed to try and win him another medal. Nesty Petesio, another Olympian that is coming back to the Olympics, and her story is a lot different because this might be it. This might be her final opportunity to win that elusive gold medal. Lagi niyang sinasabi sa amin, walang hihinto hanggat walang hinto. That has been the target for Nesty. The attack for the boxing is to have individualized training. This means that it's not a one-size-fits-all type of training camp. They wanted to cater to each and every athlete and provide them with the best possible preparation individually. For Nesty, it was different from Yumir's and Carlos because she wanted to keep her cards very close to her chest. She did not want to spar with too many international opponents. She only did it once against 2 boxers, a boxer from India and then a boxer from Australia. Yun lang yung nakalaban nitong si Nesty Petesio in Saarbrücken, opting to instead spar with her brother, Norland Petesio, and another boxer from the Philippines, itong si Jun Milardo Ugayre, because she wanted to test out how she will fare against male boxers because she felt that would prepare her better for the competitions here in Paris. You also have two debuting boxers in Ira Villegas and Hergy Bacquiadan. Ira qualified after Yumir Marshall, no, in one of the world qualifying events. And she's 100% now. She was coming off a shoulder injury, but she was able to work her way back into full shape. And she had a great experience in Saarbrücken, sparring with some of the best fighters of her division. Si Hergy Bacquiadan naman actually jumped a sport, right? She is a Volvinam world champion. Tapos parang pinahiram nung ating sa mga kickboxing ng Pilipinas to ABAP to try and compete in the women's 75 kilogram weight division. Hers was a battle against time because she did not have a lot of preparation heading into the Olympics dahil nga naghahabol sila coming from a very different sport. But her experience with the team, no, nagtutulungan sila. We see Yumir Marshall and Nesty and Carlo, the two-time Olympians now, helping her out as best as they could. It has really been a total team effort from the coaches, from the training staff, from ABAP, of course, led by Chairman Ricky Vargas, President Robbie Puno. They've been so supportive of all the boxers to make sure that they will be comfortable, they will be well-fed, they will be in a great situation in their preparations for Paris 2024. You know, we're looking for someone to bring home a medal, possibly, hopefully a gold from boxing here in Paris. So I'm really excited to get the boxing competitions going. And this will be a big day. July 25 will be important for all of our boxers. 6 p.m. Paris time, that will be 12 midnight. Manila time, we will be having the draw. So that is where you determine kung sino ba yung makakalaban ng ating mga boxingero in search for a gold here in Paris. Pawi?
Well, you know, we're also so excited, Carlo. But earlier you talked about keeping our athletes comfortable. I want to ask, how are they? Have they adjusted there in Paris? I know some of them have already entered the athletes' village. How are they feeling? Are they excited? Are they nervous? What do they say about the athletes' village?
All of them are excited to be here, right? All of the boxers are actually there. They're still adjusting to the situation, right? Because in Metz, France, and in Saarbrücken, Germany, everything was provided for, everything was closed, right? You just have to step out of your room and food will be there. Now, because it's an athlete's village, you have to walk a little bit more. Actually, some of them bike to get to the mess hall, to get to the food area. But it's something that you just deal with, di ba? Nandyan lang yan. The challenges will always be there. The adjustments will have to come. But the mood remains the same. They are hyped. They are pulling for each other. And they know that these days, these few days before the competition starts, are just as important as the month that we had in training camp in Metz.
But you know, Carlo, reports say that this Paris Olympics will draw the highest temperatures. They say it will be quite hot. But yesterday, Boom actually said it's still quite cold. So is this a case of, well, for Filipinos, what's the temperature there like? Have we adjusted? Is it really hot or it's, cold for us?
I can only speak for myself, right? So right now, we do not sleep with air cons, and it's fine, and we still get good sleep, right?
Yeah.
It's still cool. Most of the times it's cloudy, but sometimes it does get a little bit hot. Actually, paminsan-minsan nga nag-iiba yung temperature, biglang uulan, tapos biglang lilitaw naman yung init. Again, it's something that we're familiar with already. So I don't think it'll be a big factor for our athletes, especially because the weather here in Paris is very similar to the weather in Metz, France, and in Saarbrücken, Germany. So they've been in this situation, yung mga kwartong walang aircon na pagdaanan na rin nila in Germany. So they're used to it. And I don't think that will play any role in how well they were performed here in Paris.
Well, it's good, that our athletes have been able to acclimatize themselves already. But, Carlo, tomorrow is the opening ceremonies. And, of course, it's going to be very iconic because it's going to happen there in Paris, right? Personally, what preparations have you already seen? How spectacular does it look? Can you paint us a picture of what you're seeing there in Paris?
Oh, we're excited to see it because it'll be very different, right? When we have opening ceremonies, I was able to attend one in Maracana and 2016 Rio. It was in a stadium. It was just one area that they will decorate. But now it's a longer venue. It's beside the river, right? So we will get to enjoy the best of Paris. We will get to see the sights and sounds already. We have not yet gone to the area where the opening will happen. We're actually standing in front of where the closing will be. This is Stade de France, where the rugby competitions already started yesterday. but you can feel that the Olympic vibe is already there. Everyone is hyped. Everyone is looking forward to the opening because, you know, the athletes, the city has prepared for the longest time for this day, and it's just, one clip away.
Yeah. And of course, Carly, we've been talking about our athletes. You're also there, and we have a lot of delegates. But I wanted to ask about the Filipino community. Are they there to support our athletes as well? How has the reception of our Pinoy Olympians, how has it been?
Oh, they've been amazing. The Filipino community here has been so supportive. Hindi lang dito sa Paris, no. Even when we were in Metz, France, they were so supportive of us. They were there. They were joining us in masses. Ganun naman yung Pinoy eh. Everywhere you go, there will be Filipinos waiting for you, supporting you. Pagluluto ka ng sinigang, hahatiran ka ng adobo. And that's just the love that usually comes from our fellow Filipinos wherever we are. I'm sure the athletes have already, met some of their family members who are here, some of their friends who are here as well. It's been amazing. It has been an amazing experience so far, and it's just about to start, right? Bukas pa lang yung opening.
There you go. Thank you very much for all your updates. Again, that was our Olympic correspondent, Carlo Pamintuan, reporting live from Paris, France. The Philippine delegation has a total of 28 athletes, including 4 Paralympians. And we have one para-archer from Kalinga whose sights are set only on gold. Kilalanin natin si Agustina Bantilok sa report na ito ni Mobile Journal Denise Valdesancho.
It's Pinoy pride all over Paris at bibida dyan ang 55-year-old para-archer para sa 2024 Paralympics. Kilalanin natin siya. Sasalang sa 2024 Paralympic Games sa Paris ang tubong Kalinga na si Agustina Bantilok. Yan ay matapos niyang maabot ang minimum qualification standard and qualifying sa pamamagitan ng Bipartite Commission invitation. Pero bago ito, her journey goes way back.
Dati nang may archery dito sa Baguio, pero meron na po yung mga yung mga parang local laro ng mga ng archery. So may nakilala po kaming isang dating archer din na si Coach Tampuan na kaibigan ng mga may kapansanan. So doon parang nagkaroon siya ng idea na subukan yung para-archery na sa amin.
Taong 2011 nang makuha niya raw ang kanyang big break internationally during the SEA Games in Indonesia. Ngayon, 13 years na siya sa napiling larangan. Pero hindi pala archery ang first love ni Agustina.
Yes, kasi 2003 is Philippine team na ako, pero ako ay isang powerlifter hanggang 2009. Nung nagbukas ang pintuan ng archery, sinubukan natin at parang ito na yun kasi unang-una is tiga rito yung aming coach. Kaya parang mas naging madali para sa akin ang mag-training ng archery.
Mula sa buhatan ng mabibigat na barbell, ngayon, pagbabalanse naman ng bow and arrow ang focus niya. Pero sports actually came later in her life at ito ay matapos makilala ang asawa. Late bloomer man, pero sobra ang pasasalamat ni Agustina sa oportunidad na makapaglaro.
Actually, kaming mga may kapansanan, hindi naman, kumbaga meron din kaming kakayahan. Yun nga lang at kuminsan hindi lang napapansin. Pero ngayon na nagbukas yung sport sa amin, malaking tulong ito sa amin kasi nung nagbukas yung sport dito kami nabigyan ng pagkakataon na mapasama sa sa ating komunidad.
Sa kabila ng lahat, naniniwala si Agustina na kung gusto mo ang isang bagay, lahat gagawin mo para dito. At ito ang paniniwalang bitbit niya hanggang Paris.
Siyempre masaya ako dahil na parang naabot ko na yung gusto kong maabot at saka nagpapasalamat tayo din sa Diyos dahil pinakinggan yung ating dasal.
Let us all wish our athletes a big good luck for the upcoming Paris Olympics and Paralympics. At tulad ng hindi nila pagsuko para sa bayan, may we always support them through thick and thin. Mobile Journal Denise Valdesancho po, hatid ang mukha ng balita.
This is Pinoys in Paris 2024, your daily Olympics updates. We're going to take a brief pause, and as we do that, here's a quick trivia about the Games. Keep it here.
Isang daang taong laban, isang daang taong laban, isang daang taong laban para sa bayan. Isang daang taong laban.
Welcome back. You're still watching Pinoys in Paris 2024, your daily Olympics update. I'm Pauline Verzosa. While the opening ceremony isn't until tomorrow, some competitions in Paris are already ongoing. Take a look at your screens. We are now showing you the events on deck from this afternoon until the end of the Olympic Day early tomorrow morning. The preliminary round of women's handball just started with Slovenia currently taking on Denmark. Later, it's the Netherlands versus Angola, Spain versus Brazil, Germany versus South Korea, Hungary versus France, and Norway versus Sweden. Meanwhile, the individual ranking round of women's archery will also begin in a few moments. The men will get their turn later tonight. And the Rugby Sevens men's pool stage will resume with 6 games throughout the evening, which are Samoa versus Kenya, Argentina versus Australia, the United States versus Uruguay, Fiji versus France, South Africa versus Japan, and New Zealand versus Ireland. The battles for overall placing begin at 2 a.m. And the group stage of women's football kicks off with 6 matches beginning at 11 p.m. Countries that will see action include Canada, New Zealand, Spain, Japan, Germany, Australia, Nigeria, Brazil, France, Colombia, the U.S., and Zambia. As Paris prepares for its moment in the spotlight, Olympic organizers are trying to keep athletes safe from air pollution. CNN's Derek Van Dam shows us how.
Here in the Olympic Village, these air purifiers are here to help athletes breathe easier, and their inspiration comes from an often overlooked feature of the city's skyline. You see, athletes' performance could be in danger because the Paris region has a serious pollution problem with over 8,000 deaths a year. With a nearby highway spewing fumes into the Olympic Village, air quality experts are concerned.
It's crazy. It's totally crazy. It's not a good place to put the Olympic Village, it's clear.
The engineer behind these giant vacuum cleaners says his air filters suck in polluted air and filtered out harmful particles.
Please start the device, the aerofilter, one by one. Oh, you can hear you breathe the same air than if you were at the top of the Alps. Breathe. This is good air. You can breathe. You feel it.
I feel it.
You feel it.
These air filters have the ability to clean the air of the equivalent of 40 Olympic-sized swimming pools volume per hour, acting as a barrier from the adjacent highway, providing the cleanest possible air for the athletes. The concept of purifying the air on a large scale came from a different hobby of Jerome's: hot air ballooning.
Let's have a flight now.
Thunderstorms coming.
Yes.
Is this thing safe? Get a little wobbly?
Yeah, a little bit.
This is like a real-life climate lab, but on a balloon. Now, not only is there carbon dioxide being measured by this very box right here, but we are also measuring methane, ozone, and even pollen counts. Jerome noticed that while his balloon was flying, it was extracting pollutants from the surrounding air.
And so all the particulate matter who are positively charged come and go straight to the balloon.
And with the balloon's visibility to over 400,000 people across the city, he could turn this into a useful tool for all Parisians. If the balloon is green, no action is required. If the balloon is orange, it's a warning to Parisians that they need to take extra precautions. But if this balloon turns red or violet, that's when they need to take action. Back at the Olympic Village, these 5 filters remove at least 50% of air pollution, but their reach is limited to a few dozen meters. And even after the 14,000 athletes leave, they're expected to live on. Derek Van Dam, CNN, Paris.
Now this one's for tennis fans. Turns out Paris 2024 will be the last time we'll ever see Andy Murray compete on the tennis court. The 37-year-old Brit confirmed on social media that the Olympics will be his final tennis tournament. Murray went on to say that he's extremely proud to compete for the UK one last time. Murray is a 3-time Grand Slam champion and a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. He was even ranked the #1 men's tennis player in the world at one point of his career. But injuries have taken a toll on Murray in recent years. He had a hip surgery in 2018 and even had an operation for a spinal cyst earlier this year before competing at Wimbledon in June. Murray will be competing in both the men's singles and doubles event alongside Dan Evans in Paris. Now, the Olympic Games promise to be a star-studded affair. Besides superstar athletes, well, some of the biggest names in music are also joining in on the fun. Rapper Snoop Dogg is one of the torchbearers for Paris 2024. So let's hope he doesn't drop the Olympic flame, because it's hot when he carries it to its final stop in the town of Saint Denis before reaching the Eiffel Tower. Meanwhile, singer Celine Dion is also making her comeback to the stage. She's expected to perform at Friday's opening ceremony, and this will be the French-Canadian legend's first time back on stage since ending her tour in 2022. She has since stayed away from the spotlight after she was diagnosed with a rare neurological condition called stiff person syndrome. And Lady Gaga has also been spotted in Paris, raising speculations that she will also perform at the opening, but this has yet to be confirmed. And before we go, it's home sweet home at the Olympics Athletes Village for the Philippines boxing team. They've already made it to their residence for the next few weeks, and as you can see, Pinoy pride can already be felt all over with Philippine flags surrounding the building. 5 Filipino boxers will fight for the country in Paris. They are Ira Villegas, Hergy Bacyadan, and Tokyo Olympics medalists Carlo Paalam, Yumir Marshal, and Nesty Petesio. And that's it for us this Thursday. Catch us again tomorrow at 3 p.m. This is Pinoys in Paris 2024, your daily Olympics update. I'm Pauline Verzosa. Thanks for watching.